How are you feeling today?
Feeling excited. I think the residents spoke. We are here to make a change, and now it's time to move forward.
Have you heard from Tiffany? Has she conceded? Has she said she accepts the results to you yet?
I have not heard anything from former Mayor Henyard, so right now I just think we have to focus on the village. That's what we've been doing and we're going to continue to do.
So we met with some residents early this morning, and they had some things they wanted to focus on for the future. One of them being having Village Hall open to them, you know, as normal, so they can use it as a normal Village Hall, not just a little area sectioned off. They also talked about business licenses and having code enforcement. All those things, do you think you'd be tackling those?
Oh, we absolutely will. We've had conversations as recent as this morning on what it'll take for us to make sure we can get the Village Hall open. In terms of business license, the board has already taken steps to issue business license within the past 3 months. So that's something that we've already tackled when we talked about changing the narrative and taking us in a new direction. We've already put things in place that are going to make us a better community. We've issued over 23 business licenses. We have ordinances that'll allow us to do the liquor licenses so we can stop all these senseless lawsuits.
When you look back over the past couple of years, what's been the most challenging for you?
The most challenging has been the frustration when you have a resident call you and you're not able to help them. Because residents they elect us for us to be able to have services, give them what they've looked for, and with the divisive nature of the last administration, we really couldn't have access to communicate with the employees, and they are hardworking individuals that want to help the residents, but they're given directives that don't serve the community. And as an elected official, we're trying to further that and give the employees and the residents comfort that we're going to do the right thing. That wasn't happening in the last administration.
Was it hard for you to even get just any business accomplished? It seemed like, you know, you come to the meetings, it didn't seem like you were able to get things accomplished. Was that hard for you also?
Extremely difficult, and I think you're being polite by saying it seemed like. It was exactly what it looked like. However, it became important for the board that we fight for transparency and we hold the administration accountable. We really wanted to progress the community. That was the goal 4 years ago, and quickly our job shifted to being the protectors of the purse or trying to reduce the damage, and we've done that the best we can with the assistance of your network and other networks and other YouTubers. The transparency part became to the forefront. I think that we've given a good education, although one that we didn't want to the public, and how politics or the importance of transparency in politics, how government operates, and now we're ready to take that to the next level and really show that Dalton is about service.
And that's what I heard a lot yesterday, you know, doing some exit polling. A lot of voters were talking about transparency. Transparency kept coming up, transparency. How do you give them that moving forward?
We've already started that as well. We already revitalized our website. We've posted a lot of information on the website, and that helps us from two standpoints. One, of course, the residents can have it right at their fingertips, which makes it really, really convenient. The second part is it reduces the number of FOIAs that comes in, which reduces the work on the staff, and they can focus on more critical things.
I hate to go back to the meetings, but in some of the meetings, sometimes there would be bickering. You tended to stay away from all of that. Would that be true?
I tried my hardest. Yeah, every once in a while, I mean, there's comments that are made, so I feel like we all became a part of it. I think it started with the leader and a bad agenda or an agenda that was geared towards fighting. But I tried my hardest to stay out of that. I was trustee for 8 years, and one of the biggest complaints, even for the last 12 years, was the back and forth. So while being elected, I still had to recognize that residents don't want to see that. They don't deserve it, and try to pick the moments where things were critical to say, and if it wasn't critical to say, I wouldn't speak on it. And also making all of my comments directed at the residents and not at an individual that's trying to cause chaos.
Were there at times residents, were they disrespected or treated in a way that they shouldn't have been at some of these meetings?
Oh, absolutely. They were disrespected with the doors being locked. With not having access to their own village hall, they were disrespected. With not being able to make it into board meetings, they were disrespected with the police standing over their shoulders in a military fashion. And it was also the help of the residents. I have to compliment them that assisted with us changing the meeting over to the Park District and getting that ruling with the Attorney General's office that this space is unfit. What was really a shame is that it took so long for those things which we felt to be common sense, but it would take 2 or 3 months for us to get a ruling on something like the Open Meetings Act. Or some of our court cases, in particular in the early days, would take years to come to a conclusion over a 5-page ordinance. But I think as the attention came more, or Dalton became more in the spotlight, judges really started to look at our case as unique and made firm decisions. I thought Judge Thaddeus Walker made some really firm decisions that were beneficial to the community, as well as Judge Cohen. And what I really liked about their rulings as of late is they would always focus on the residents, which is most important. It was not about did the board do this or did the mayor do it, what's best for the residents. And that's how we tailored our ordinances, is to make sure that we're doing what's in the community's best interest. And that's why we got a lot of favorable decisions.
You were trustee for 8 years.
Yes.
Was it hard for you to make the decision to become or run for mayor?
It's an honor to make the decision to run for mayor. An honor that the residents felt that, well, on the surface began to say, we feel that you can be the mayor. Additionally, to get that vote of confidence from my colleagues on the board that they feel I would be the person. It's humbling, it's an honor, it's a responsibility, and it's one that we don't take lightly.
It's a big challenge, though.
It's a huge challenge, but it's been a huge challenge for the last 4 years. Many people have seen it. It's been well documented, dealing with verbal lashings and somebody who's not telling the truth to the residents and making sure that the word gets out there. Huge challenge. So we faced a huge challenge for the last 4 years. We're up for a huge challenge, and the best thing I think over the last 4 years is the community came together. So this is not a challenge for Jason House. This is a challenge for the Board of Trustees and the community to show who we really are and come out of it.
Another thing the residents we talked to earlier today said that they want to focus on, finding that right fit for a police chief. Where are we at in that process?
At this moment, we do not have the ability as a trustee, because my role is still as the senior trustee. By the state statute, the mayor gets the ability to appoint a chief, and the board has the ability to confirm that. So if we have a qualified person, we would confirm it. The board has passed on the last 2 recommendations because those individuals did not have the qualifications needed, and we want to make sure we have somebody that has the proper background. If we are presented with somebody as soon as tomorrow, the board, I'm sure, would consider and move that forward. We've never done anything to hold progress. We've always made sure that we moved at the speed of thoroughness.
What do you say to residents when they want to know, will they be listened to? Can you tell them that their concerns will be listened to and taken into account? Can you guarantee them that?
I can guarantee them that, and I will say that we've done that for the last 4 years. We created Tea with the Trustees second Saturday of every month, where residents came because we recognized that citizens' address had already been cut off, and that became a point of conflict. So we opened the doors for Tea to Trustees. We brought refreshments that were paid for by the trustees, so it didn't create an extra burden to the village. And we just let them open up as kind of a town hall. We will bring guest speakers that we think will add value to them, and then we open the floor and let them ask their questions. Why does this happen? Why are these things going on? Anything they didn't understand, we were there to answer. We've been there, and so I would say the next phase is to maintain that and take it to the next level. There's another level of communications that we can do, making sure we have outreach, another level of community events. We go back to block clubs, so that way the neighbors can get out and know one another, and we can go out there and join them.
Regarding Lori's investigation, she said she'd given you all some things to work on, some things to consider that you could start implementing now. You've done that?
We've started implementing from her first report, and I think her second report even reflected that we had already started implementing some of her original.
Can you give me 1 or 2 examples of something you've implemented?
Well, one of her issues, one of the suggestions that she mentioned was on the second report was transparency. And as I mentioned before, the website has already been up, posting ordinances, posting documents. Getting the village's audited financials was another recommendation. That process is underway right now. We're 2 years behind on that, so it's going to take, I would imagine, about 6 to 7 months to get those 2 years completed. But that is well documented and underway. So we've begun implementing that, and there's many other changes that we see necessary, and those will move forward too.
Can you right this ship?
We will right this ship. That's our job. That's our responsibility. So absolutely.
Can you get Dalton back to good government?
Dalton will be excellent government, and it is an excellent community. And I think if we look at how many people have come together, it's unfortunate that a rogue mayor was the cause for everybody coming together. But when we walked in the room and meetings that Ms. Henyard is not present, it feels like and felt like family, and a lot of people's talents have been highlighted in this process. So I know there's kind of a tainted image because of the top, and there's also a community feel that I've been proud of time and time again when we talk to the board of trustees coming together, the residents coming together with one another, and then even those outside of our city and outside of our state, the care they've taken on for our community. So I think there's a lot of positives to take out of it, and the next chapter is bright.
My last question, are you tired of Dalton being in national headlines, national news? Would you want it to be in the news for other reasons? Because right now it's the focal point of negative.
Yeah, it should be in the headlines for other reasons. It will be in the headlines for positive reasons. I think that the spotlight that was put on it was unfortunate. In some ways, probably necessary given what we were facing. But our mandate is to turn that around, and we're going to show people what we're really made of.
You said last night it's a new day for Dalton.
Yes, it is. It's a very new day. A great beginnings. We're going to really just work together, be humble, and continue to push forward. That's our town. That's the town I serve.
Jason House, thank you.
Thank you.